Tonight,
this is our healthcare system, and yes, it's broken, but we have to do something.
Why a local senior with a brain bleed and dementia spent days in an ER hallway, and the message from her concerned daughter. Also tonight.
They are supposed to provide public safety and people so that this doesn't happen.
Why Manitoba's opposition party wants to put the brakes on a mobile overdose prevention van and the organization's response. Plus,
I'm Daniel Halmerson. High tea returns to the RM of St. Andrews. I'll take you inside this historic home coming up.
CTV News. Live from downtown Winnipeg with Marilee Caruso.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. An 87-year-old woman with a brain bleed and dementia spent days in an emergency room hallway. Angela Thibault says her mom Louise has been at Grace Hospital since Saturday after suffering a head injury during a fall. She's now in an examination room and is still waiting for a hospital bed. Live in studio tonight with the latest is CTV's Jeff Keel. Jeff, this doesn't sound like a great situation for Louise. How is she doing tonight?
Her daughter says her mom is terrified and exhausted because of all of the noise in the ER, especially the hallway where the lights have to be on all of the time. She says this is inhumane. Louise Thibault's daughter says her 87-year-old mom, who has advanced dementia and a head injury, spent nearly 5 days in the hallway of Grace Hospital's emergency department.
We have to do something. This is inhumane. It really is. It's heartbreaking.
Angela Thibault says her mom fell at home. She ended up at Grace Hospital on Saturday. Angela traveled from BC to be with her.
She has a massive on her forehead, huge bruise, black and blue.
Angela says it was determined her mom had a brain bleed. Due to her age, surgery was ruled out. Because of her condition, she can't go home. Louise needs a spot in a personal care home, which can be difficult to find. In the meantime, a hospital bed is her only option, but she was placed in a hallway at the Grace until Wednesday morning, waiting to be admitted. Angela says the experience has been terrifying and agonizing for her mom.
The sirens, the announcements, the, code red, the doctors, there's people screaming, people crying, and there's these horrible fluorescent lights above her head.
Angela says Louise is now in a small examination room in the ER, still waiting for a hospital bed.
She's having a really hard time putting thoughts together. Basically, on repeat is, what am I doing here? I want to go home.
The Winnipeg Regional Health Authority says patient numbers can vary. High volumes can impact the flow of patients, leading to blocked treatment spaces in the emergency departments until those patients can be admitted to a unit. Currently, Grace Hospital is seeing a surge in patients in the ED needing admission. To help address the situation, temporary beds have been added, and coordinated efforts across the system are ensuring patients receive the right care in the appropriate environment for their needs. Angela Thibault says the healthcare staff are doing their best. She says something with the system has to change.
I'm pushing for people to wake up because this is your future, people. I mean, I'm 60 and I don't want to be 87 and be in that position.
We reached out for comment for Health Minister Uzoma Asegbar and have been told the minister will be available to speak with CTV News tomorrow.
Jeff, once a hospital bed eventually does open up, how long then does it take for Louise to get into a personal care home?
Days, possibly weeks. The RHA says when it comes to paneling for a PCH from hospital, if a patient can't return home once they are medically stable, they would complete the panel process from hospital and would be matched to the first available bed that meets their care needs. The wait time would depend on the level of care needed and could range between a few days to a number of weeks.
All right, thanks for this, Jeff. A manhunt has come to an end tonight following a fatal shooting in a northern First Nation community. Mounties say 2 men were found with gunshot wounds in Norway House, Cree Nation around 5:30 last night. One of them, a 25-year-old, died while the other victim, a 38-year-old, was treated and released from hospital. The community was put into lockdown following the shooting, and Mounties rushed additional units to the area to search for the suspect. And just a short time ago, RCMP announced a 16-year-old suspect turned himself in. The investigation is ongoing. Sunshine House's mobile site where people are allowed to openly use drugs is being criticized tonight. Manitoba's progressive conservatives are calling for it to be shut down after 2 recent violent incidents in the area where it operates. But as CTV's John Hendricks shows you, Sunshine House says it is providing a necessary service.
Sunshine House calls its mobile overdose prevention site a place where people can safely use drugs while supervised by staff trained in overdose response. However, Manitoba PCs say it's also supposed to be maintaining public safety. And on that front, they believe it's failing miserably.
It's putting people's safety at risk.
Portage La Prairie MLA Jeff Ariza points to recent incidents of violence in the area on Main Street where the van operates. On March 19th, police say a Good Samaritan was assaulted by a man who also stole her cell phone and smartwatch while she tried to help a collapsed man believed to be overdosing. And about a week ago, a woman was assaulted by suspected drug dealers blocking the entrance to her nearby business.
It was chaotic around there. There was people laying on the sidewalk. There was people that were highly intoxicated with the drugs, and there's just no one around.
Bariza says the focus should be on getting people into treatment instead of encouraging drug usage.
The way that they paint these places and the people that occupy these spaces as violent and inherently ungovernable people is absolutely incredible to me, and it's so harmful and it's so hurtful.
Levi Foy, the executive director of Sunshine House, says they've had more than 10,000 people visit their sites and have had fewer than 100 violent incidents. Foy says they weren't even set up during the first incident, and while he admits the business owner would prefer they not be there, he says there aren't many safe places where they can go.
It's not an ideal and it's not a tenable long-term solution, but it's a necessary kind of intervention right now.
The PCs don't agree, and they've asked the federal government to revoke the exemption that allows Sunshine House to operate the mobile site. John Hendricks, CTV News, Winnipeg.
In a statement, Health Canada tells CTV News exemptions can be suspended if such suspension is necessary to protect public health, safety, or security. And it can also be revoked if the site or any staff members have contravened any of the conditions of the exemption. Decisions are made on a case-by-case basis, and there is no prescribed timeline for revocation. Meanwhile, a spokesperson for Addictions Minister Bernadette Smith says, in part, violence on our streets is unacceptable, adding downtown safety has been an issue for many years, which is why when the NDP formed government, it made historic investments in frontline policing. They go on to say the party has taken a balanced approach which prioritizes safety and keeps people experiencing addiction alive so they can seek treatment. The RM of Gimli has brought in a cybersecurity firm after it was targeted in a cyber attack. The RM made the announcement on social media saying it's still trying to figure out the scope of the attack. However, it says some of the systems are affected and it can no longer process bill payments at its office. A council meeting scheduled for this morning was canceled. The RM says it will provide updates once it's able to. More changes are being recommended for Winnipeg Transit. The summer schedule begins June 21st and includes a few adjustments to D19 Corydon and D16 Notre Dame routes. The latter one is being split into 2. A report on the Public Works agenda also recommends extending an on-request zone and changes to 6 routes this fall. The city says the latest adjustments are a result of feedback from Winnipeggers. The Public Works Committee will consider the recommendations on Tuesday. Get ready to slow down. Reduced speed limits start on seasonal bike routes Friday. Speeds were dropping from 30 kilometers per hour on parts of Lindale Drive, Wellington Crescent and Churchill Drive. Kilkenny and Kings Drive will be dropped to 40 kilometers per hour. The speed reduction is in effect 24 hours a day through mid-October. All right, the sun still hiding from us, but just be patient. It's going to make a big comeback before the weekend.
Speaking of Friday and biking, it will be a nice day to do that. It will be a lot warmer by Friday in southern Manitoba. It has been persistently cool and windy, as you well know, for much of the week. One more day of that to come and then a big improvement. But I want to show you this. The sun is shining, right over Portage La Prairie, but it's still cloudy here in Winnipeg. It's cloudy in Brandon as well. Another cool night ahead where we will drop below freezing, which is unseasonably cool for this time of year, of course. But as I mentioned, things are going to be changing quite soon. I'll show you that coming up. Let's take a look right now through the CTV Live Eye. It's brought to you by Bath Fitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. In Winnipeg right now, cloudy here, just 4 degrees, windy, winds out of the north-northwest at 15 kilometers an hour with wind gusts up to 29. The pressure is dropping and the humidity right now, merrily, is 51%.
Thanks, Colleen. One of 5 people arrested last year as part of an extortion and arson investigation is now facing additional charges, and the hunt continues for 2 additional suspects. This convenience store on Selkirk Avenue was one of several businesses police linked to the same group of suspects, which they allege were extorted or threatened with extortion in exchange for protection from arson. Now, police allege a 26-year-old Ontario man who was arrested last summer was involved in the planning and orchestration of the operation and is facing 7 additional charges. This includes conspiracy to commit extortion and arson. He was rearrested at the Winnipeg Remand Center last week. Meantime, Canada-wide warrants remain in effect for these 2 men. 29-year-old Farhad Nabil is wanted on 4 charges of conspiracy to commit an indictable offense, and 40-year-old Jermaine Weeks is wanted on 2 counts of extortion. An update now to a story we brought you earlier this week. A polarizing housing development in East St. Paul has been approved. The RMCAO confirms to CTV News the vote for a bylaw amendment and subdivision application was 4-1 in favor. The plan involves building hundreds of homes on 248 acres of farmland type property. According to a report, the proposal includes 482 lots for single and 2-family homes and condominiums, plus parks and recreational spaces. Some local residents we spoke to earlier this week voiced concerns the project would upend the country lifestyle of the area, and a petition in opposition to the development reportedly gathered more than 1,000 signatures. Afternoon tea is back on the menu in the RM of St. Andrews. The tea room inside a historic home has reopened for the first time in 10 years. And CTV's Daniel Helmerson stopped by for a visit.
The clatter of dishes and the chatter of friends catching up over brunch have returned to this space for the first time in more than 10 years. This is the Heritage Tea Room inside one of St. Andrews' oldest and most beloved buildings, Captain Kennedy House.
There's been stories from everybody who's kind of wandered by, looked in the windows, even come in today yet.
The mansion was built in 1866 during the days of the Red River settlement. It was home to Captain William Kennedy, a Métis fur trader and early supporter from Manitoba to join Canadian Confederation. Later, it became a tea room and museum.
People learn from history about how important a man that Kennedy was, and I think those stories need to be told.
However, the province closed the historic site in 2015 due to structural issues, and it took a decade to shore up the foundation and restore the home's lower level.
It's been a long time. It's actually been 10 years that we advocated for the restoration of Kennedy House, and today it's open again.
New tea room owner Musette Folk says she jumped at the chance to bring history back to life.
There's a opportunity here to have a sense of familiarity, a sense of hominess, incredible food, and a great stop kind of in the community.
And she hopes it becomes a gathering space for people in St. Andrews once again.
Everyone has a very strong personal connection and a very strong ownership of what they believe the Captain Kennedy Tea House can and should be, and I really want to honor and respect that.
Daniel Helmerson, CTV News in the RM of St. Andrews.
Bookworms, get ready. Work is officially underway on a brand new library. City officials came out to Garden City Shopping Center to celebrate the start of construction at the Mike O'Shaughnessy Library. The new library will take up more than 14,000 square feet of the mall's space, and its design was shaped by public feedback. The facility will also include public art, program and tutorial rooms, seating and study areas, computer and printing stations, and public washrooms.
This new library will help meet the needs of a rapidly growing area, creating more spaces for learning, connection, and access to vital services for residents of all ages.
The budget for the project is $4.7 million, and the library is expected to open early next year. You can now get a detailed look at a vehicle collision data reported to Manitoba Public Insurance. The public insurer unveiled its online collision dashboard today. It's updated monthly and breaks down crash data by demographics, location, time, contributing factors, and more. For example, the data shows most collisions last year happened late on Friday afternoons, and most injuries involve people between the ages of 25 and 34. You can see for yourself by visiting mpi.mb.ca. Still to come tonight, the Bank of Canada holds its key interest rate steady.
But I will stress that there is no risk-free path for the policy interest rate.
We take a look at the country's economic landscape and find out why things could change drastically in the coming months. Plus, Ottawa wants to make it easier for authorities to search your mail. We'll tell you why when we return. Taking a look at the markets tonight, crude oil topped $100 per barrel as talks to end the war stalled. The loonie slipped to 73.09 cents U.S. Gold futures fell nearly $47. The TSX dropped 265 points. The Dow Jones was down 280 points, while the Nasdaq posted a small gain. Pessimism about the job market is spiking among the country's young people. That is one of the key takeaways from a new survey from the Angus Reid Institute. It found as of March, 38% of Canadians aged 18 to 24 listed jobs and unemployment as their top issue. That's more than double the number who said the same thing at the beginning of 2025. Among those looking for work or who knew someone looking for work, about 2/3 said the main issue was not hearing back from potential employers and a lack of available jobs. More than 2,300 Canadian adults took part in the online survey between April 24th and 28th. It has a margin of error of plus or minus 2 percentage points. The Bank of Canada kept its benchmark interest rate at 2.25% today. Governor Tiff Macklem says global events will be watched closely along with inflation, and he laid out possible scenarios Canada could face. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver on maintaining the status quo for now and what it means for business and housing.
At Parkview Moving, the high cost of gas is making it harder and harder to run a profitable business, offering short and long-haul moves.
It's very difficult, and we don't want to pass that extra burden or cost on to our clients, so we're absorbing a lot of that cost ourselves.
And they're not alone. The war in Iran is driving up oil prices and squeezing both Canadian businesses and consumers. That spike, a main reason the Bank of Canada now sees inflation peaking at 3% this month and staying elevated until early next year when it's projected to return to 2%.
The best thing to do today is maintain the policy interest rate where it is. But I will stress that there is no risk-free path for the policy interest rate.
The bank decided to hold rates steady for now, but admits a lot could change in the coming months. If oil prices stay around $100 a barrel, consecutive rate hikes could be needed. At the same time, the bank says if new U.S. tariffs or trade restrictions are put in place, cuts may be needed to stimulate the economy.
The bank is committed to ensuring that Canadians continue to have confidence and price stability through this period of global upheaval.
So what does this all mean for anyone in the market for a new home? Mortgage experts say now may be the time to lock in a rate.
You can't time the market. The best bet for borrowers right now is to take out a rate hold and a pre-approval, because at least that way you have secured access to whatever today's rate pricing currently is.
With the potential for rate hikes already floated because of high oil prices, many real estate experts say now may be the time the housing market starts to heat up, with more buyers jumping off the sidelines. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
The government is once again looking to make it legal to search and seize small pieces of mail. The proposed legislative change was included in the spring economic update. The Liberals are looking to amend the Canada Post Corporation Act to allow law enforcement to lawfully search and seize mail if authorized. Under an act of Parliament, it won't allow for warrantless searches, but it will make it possible for law enforcement to get warrants for all forms of mail. Currently, officers are only allowed warrants for packages and for mail weighing more than 500 grams. It's a move the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police has called for in the past. More criticism today from the opposition to the Liberals' spring fiscal update. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre slammed the statement for its lack of specifics, especially on affordability. CTV's Mike LeCouture on the promises made and whether the Liberals can deliver.
I know I'll speak slowly for the Liberal mathematicians on the other side of the House because
Conservative criticism of the spring economic update continued to focus on government spending.
More cost, more debt, more taxes, more on the national credit card, and more interest payments for Canadians.
The Prime Minister defended his plan and the government's programs.
We're building the country strong for all, including Canada's youth, the biggest investment in apprenticeships in our history.
While the economic update did detail the $5.9 billion training program, it was lacking when it came to the $25 billion sovereign wealth fund and where that money will come from. The spring update did mention unlocking the value of airports. In Montreal, the finance minister did not rule out their privatization.
There might be different type of ownership that might be providing better value for money for Canadians, because after all, it's their assets.
Information about Canada's military spending was also absent from the economic statement. Last month, Canada announced it hit the NATO target of spending 2% of GDP on defense. And Carney has committed this country to a new spending pledge of 5% by the year 2035.
We've got a 10 years to get to 5%. We're only in year one, and we're moving very quickly. We've got an extra $82 billion to spend over the next 5 years. And we're going to review the spend in 2029, as are all NATO countries.
They had to put in a huge amount of money overall anyway, but that amount is getting bigger if we can keep in pace with the growth in the Canadian economy.
The Secretary of State for Defense Procurement also points out the government wants to scale up domestic military production, believing it could create more jobs in this country. Mike LeCouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
A South Korean company is promising to make armored battle vehicles in Canada if it's awarded the contract to build submarines for the Royal Canadian Navy. Hanwha would build K9 howitzer vehicles and weapons systems in Canada. Ottawa asked both Hanwha and German competitor TKMS to sweeten their bids for the submarine contract, which has an estimated value of up to $100 billion. A final decision on the supplier is expected in June. The families of mass shooting victims in Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia are suing OpenAI and its CEO, Sam Altman. Lawsuits launched in the U.S. federal court in San Francisco allege the tech company identified the shooter as a credible threat 8 months before the attack, but didn't warn police. The lawsuit also accuses OpenAI of not alerting police because it would have exposed the volume of violence-related conversations happening on ChatGPT, potentially jeopardizing the company's path to a nearly $1 trillion initial public offering. 9 people, including several children, were killed in the shooting in Tumbler Ridge in February. AI Minister Evan Solomon spoke about the steps the federal government is taking.
We are pursuing from our end to make sure that citizens are protected. This is why the AI Safety Institute is currently, as I said, working with OpenAI to assess their safety protocols. And as I said, all options are on the table.
An OpenAI spokesperson called the shooting a tragedy, and last week Sam Altman apologized to the impacted families. The U.S.-Israeli war with Iran has killed thousands of people and caused global economic upheaval. And now we're learning about the financial cost to the United States. The Pentagon says the conflict has cost the U.S. military an estimated $25 billion so far. The Americans are trying to squeeze Iran's oil exports with a naval blockade intended to force it to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. But Tehran has pledged to continue disrupting shipping through the waterway as long as it's threatened. Today, Donald Trump urged the Iranians to get smart and sign a peace deal. The U.S. president has said Tehran can call if it wants to talk. King Charles and Queen Camilla made a solemn stop today at the National 9/11 Memorial and Museum in New York City. As part of the visit to the United States, the royal couple laid some flowers at Ground Zero to honor the nearly 3,000 lives lost in the September 11th attacks. They met with families of the victims and first responders involved in the rescue efforts.
Very, very disappointed and stressful.
The deadline to get your taxes done is tomorrow, and many Canadians are finding out the CRA is still trying to recover COVID benefits. That story just ahead.
And finally, by the last day of April, the beginning of temperatures, highs and lows that are much more seasonal for this time of year. How does 14 sound for you on Friday in the sunshine? If you like that, you'll like Saturday too. 17 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud. Mix of sun and cloud continues on Sunday with a high of 15. And then we start to fall back off again. 10 on Monday, increasing clouds in the afternoon. Increasing clouds again Tuesday afternoon, but with a high of just 6 degrees.
The Winnipeg Blue Bombers are expecting strong competition at training camp this year after selecting 9 players in the CFL draft Tuesday.
Feeling good, added some talent, a little bit of everything.
The Bombers selected defensive Nor Gatkuth in the first round. The 4th overall pick was named a finalist for the top Canadian player in the NCAA and recently accepted a rookie minicamp invitation from the Denver Broncos. The team earned a 2nd pick in the 2nd round for being one of 2 teams with the highest total of snaps for Canadian players. Along with Gatkuth, the Bombers picked up a tight end, a pair of linebackers and receivers, an offensive lineman, defensive back, and a kicker. Rookie camp opens May 6th. Training camp starts May 10th. A 3-point steal in the 3rd and led Team Canada to victory over Germany at the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship this afternoon. Husband and wife duo Kadriana and Colton Lott from Gimli managed to maintain the lead for the rest of the game, eventually posting a 7-4 win. And here's a look at the Pool B standings. After 7 games, Canada is tied with Italy for top spot at 6-1. The Lotts face Czechia and Switzerland tomorrow. A sweep of their final round-robin games would guarantee the pair first place in their pool and a bye directly to Friday's semifinals.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Colleen Brady back again with your complete Skywatch forecast, and temperatures cooling off again tonight.
Yeah, down below freezing. We should be staying above freezing by this time of year, and as you saw, that will change in the next few days. But until then, another night that actually in many cases, as I will show you in just a couple of minutes, substantially below the freezing mark here in the south. Still nice and bright around Portage La Prairie, cloudy on either side here in Winnipeg and over around Brandon there. Next door into northwestern Ontario, we've got some, looks like a few flurries or a little bit of light snow passing through areas like Dryden. No surprise there really. We have a ridge of high pressure over Western Canada and perhaps spilling a little further to the east and some cloud trapped underneath. And that's been churning out a little bit of light snow and flurries across Manitoba, including a little bit of light snow here in Winnipeg this morning. You might have caught that, but looks like it's falling to the east. Speaking of which, in Kenora right now, 2 degrees there. Winnipeg and Steinbach, 4 degrees out in Brandon. It's 8 there. Dauphin 6, and in the north, temperatures not too far behind. 4 degrees in Flin Flon and the Pas. Up in Thompson, it's 1 right now. It's -6 in Churchill, the lone area that stayed below the freezing mark in the province today. But as we move through the night, Churchill and those most northern areas a little clearer, but fog is quite possible in those areas as far north as Churchill tonight. A little bit of cloud further to the south. Not a lot happens tonight. Pretty uneventful weather-wise. Late tonight, though, watch out possibly for some showers. Maybe some freezing rain popping up in the southwest corner. Then we get into Thursday morning. It will be a bright start to the day here in the south. It'll get some cloud that'll move in into the afternoon. Doesn't really pick up much on the future cast, but we'll see that. East into northwestern Ontario, fairly clear as well as we move into later Thursday night, overnight into Friday, when finally that warm air will start to move in. So the sun will be shining too. So it should be a great lead into the weekend with those temperatures getting back to where they ought to be for this time of year in the south in the mid-teens. Temperatures warming up too in the north by Friday afternoon there as well. So for tonight, we'll slip down to around -2 here in Winnipeg, mostly cloudy. Later on this evening, mid-evening onward, the winds should shift a little bit. They'll come from the north, but they will ease up as well, diminishing winds to about 10 kilometers an hour, 15 kilometers an hour from the north. Those winds will be coming at us for the commute tomorrow. 1 degree, mix of sun and cloud with an afternoon high temperature of 7 degrees. The winds winds strengthen somewhat from the north at 20 kilometers an hour, but shouldn't be as windy as it's been the last 2-3 days. Here's that fog picking up overnight. Churchill, Gillam, Thompson, watch out for that over your community, down to -6 there. Mix of sun and cloud for Thompson tomorrow, 9 degrees, sunny in Island Lake and 5. In the northwest tonight, fog most likely around Lynn Lake, dropping down to -7. OC and the Paw Flin Flon skies will clear late tonight. You drop down to -5 in those areas. Norway House and Norway House Cree Nation tomorrow up to 6 degrees. In the southwest tonight, just a few clouds over most of the region. Brandon down to -6, Dauphin -5. Sunny in the morning around the region, then more clouds in the afternoon. Most areas, including Brandon and Dauphin, up to 11 tomorrow. Winnipeg in the southeast, clearing late tonight through Portage, Morton and Winkler, down to -6 there. -2 overnight for Winnipeg, cloudy. Mix of sun and cloud tomorrow with those single-digit highs continuing. 7 degrees for Winnipeg, 9 to the west of us in Portage, and in northwestern Ontario tonight, partly cloudy for Kenora. All areas down to -5, and then right around the region, a nice mix of sun and cloud with highs between 6 and 8 degrees. Our first weather photo takes us out to Coca-Cola Falls. That's here in southern Manitoba, out in the southeast. That photo is from Leah. A great shot there. Now, this hawk was spotted flying around the Polo Park area by Stu, and if you look closely, you can see the tops of 2 of the towers at Portage and Main. Great shot there. Send us your photos to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Thanks, Colleen. The deadline to file your taxes is tomorrow at midnight, and if you owe money, you should try and get it done to avoid penalties and interest. While many Canadians will receive a refund this year, the CRA is still seeking repayment of more than $10 billion in pandemic-related benefits. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
The federal government rushed billions of dollars to Canadians to help deal with the financial hardship of the pandemic. Many applied for CERB, the Canada Emergency Response Benefit, and other programs. Years later, the CRA is still going after Canadians who they say shouldn't have received the funds.
The government's offer to give us benefits was very welcome.
Jarmella Regvold owns a small restaurant in Niagara Falls and says during the pandemic, it was closed for almost 2 years. She also suffered from an illness. She applied for the Canada Recovery Benefit and received more than $24,000, but she was told she wasn't eligible and had to pay it back.
Someone said I made too much. Somebody said I didn't make enough. Somebody said that my income was taken after expenses.
After Regvold paid that amount, she was told she also received other funds she shouldn't have. She now must also repay $14,000 in CERB benefits. CRA told her, "We have determined you are not eligible for CERB. You did not earn at least $5,000 before taxes of employment or self-employment income in 2019 or in the 12 months before your application." Regvold appealed the decision but lost and must now come up with another $14,000.
Very, very disappointed and stressful because I know I had the income for the business.
Earlier this year, an Ottawa hairstylist was also asked to repay $17,000 in COVID benefits CRA says she was ineligible for.
I needed this income. I had a family to feed.
The CRA is combing through tax returns and hopes to still recover more than $10 billion in COVID-19 payments it says Canadians should not have received. Pat Foran, CTV News.
We got 250 red blacks right here, look.
The call he's been waiting for a very long time. After the break, I chat with Gio Vaccaro, the first Manitoba Bison to be drafted first overall in the CFL. Stay with us. What began as a dream years ago is a reality tonight for Gio Vaccaro. The 6'2", 307-pound offensive lineman from Winnipeg went first overall in last night's CFL draft. And the newest member of the Ottawa Red Blacks joins us now to talk more about the road he took to get here and what lies ahead. Gio, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you having me on.
You know, I heard you said you didn't care if you went first overall, but now that you did, how does it feel?
Yeah, I'm truly grateful, and I'm really happy that I ended up on such an amazing organization, and I'm happy it's Ottawa.
You didn't start playing football until late in high school here in Winnipeg at St. Paul's, and I hear didn't even consider it could be a career until university. So how did you pull this off? What's your secret?
Yeah, I mean, I started in grade 9 of high school when Coach Daynard and my brother had reached out and had convinced me to quit hockey after playing 13 years of it. And then ultimately, Coach Dobie just enlightening me and saying, hey, I can make a career out of this at my 18-year-old self when I finished my freshman season. I mean, a lot of hard work and a long journey has gone into this for sure.
You mentioned Coach Dobie. He was so proud last night when he was talking about you being, the first Bison to go first overall. You played 3 seasons under him. I'm curious how that experience helped you get to where you are today.
Yeah, for sure. My brother, Gio Vaccaro, had played for the Bisons for 2 years prior to me coming there. And I mean, it was just an easy decision to make. Coach Dobie's just a legend here in Winnipeg, and I was honored and grateful to play under him. He's just such a great leader, great coach, and great role model, and ultimately shaped me into the man I am today.
We're looking at some footage of you at Purdue. That's where you were most recently. What have you picked up there that you think you'll easily be able to transition to your CFL game?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, going down there was huge for me. Just ultimately developing my body. And taking advantage of those facilities and that competition in the Big Ten was huge for me and something I'll be able to carry with me heading into Ottawa.
I heard your dad call you a mauler, and I even heard you say that you're ready to turn on your mauler for the Red Blacks. What exactly does that mean? I mean, I think I have an idea, but I want to hear your definition.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's just what my game is, and that's what I take pride in as I step on the field as an offensive lineman, just being a mauler and ultimately playing nasty and physical.
How soon do you head to Ottawa and officially start your CFL career?
Yeah, for sure. I'm going down May 4th. I'm going down the earliest date I can be down there and get down there and just get acclimated and get to meet the team and meet the coaches in person up live. I
hear the first-round draft pick actually has to go back to Purdue to write an exam still.
Yeah, that is true. I got to go back. I got to take an exam and then off to Ottawa. I'm taking the drive down there as soon as I'm finished.
August 14th, I looked it up, 7:30 p.m. at Investors Group Field. I bet your mom's looked it up too. That's when the Red Blacks play the Bombers here at Investors Group Field. What's it going to be like? Have you thought about it to play here at home in front of family and friends?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of my family and friends have now transitioned into Red Blacks fans, and a bunch of them bought the tickets actually last night at the draft party. So it's going to be full of Red Blacks fans for sure, and I'm excited.
It's going to be the hottest ticket in town. Gio, congratulations once again, and best of luck to you.
Thank you. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Hearing aids may soon be available over the counter in Ontario. The province is considering a regulatory change which would allow Ontario residents with mild hearing loss to buy devices without a prescription. Ontario's Health Ministry launched a 30-day consultation on the idea. Health Canada recently issued medical device licenses for some wireless earbuds that have built-in hearing aid capabilities, but Ontario law currently bans selling a hearing aid unless it's prescribed by a doctor or audiologist. New research suggests even small amounts of ultra-processed foods may impact your brain health. According to a study published Friday in the journal Alzheimer's and Dementia, increasing daily intake by just 10%, which is equal to about a small bag of chips, was linked to a higher risk of dementia. And researchers say that's the case even if you normally eat a healthy plant-rich diet. The study also found ultra-processed foods have a negative impact on attention spans. Experts say those foods, often high in sugar, salt, and fat, may lack key nutrients needed for brain function. But researchers say there's a silver lining. Cutting back and replacing those foods with whole, minimally processed options may help lower the risk over time. If you're one of the millions of Canadians who takes a GLP-1 drug like Ozempic or Wegovy for diabetes and weight loss, Canada has just become the first G7 country to approve a low-cost, generic version. CTV's Jean-Pierre Bushman looks at what it means for those who use the drug.
Months after Ozempic's patent expired, Health Canada has given a generic the go-ahead. And the approval of India's Dr. Reddy Laboratories' copy has been applauded by many patients and advocates.
And there hasn't been a whole lot of options available.
Obesity Canada's Eaton Patton says for him, semaglutides have been life-changing.
I had this voice in the back of my head always chirping at me, talking about with that uncontrollable food drive. And having a treatment that allows me to gain control has been very, very impactful.
Like Ozempic, says Health Canada, the generic injection is indicated for the once-weekly treatment of adults with type 2 diabetes. But around 3 million Canadian adults currently take medication like Ozempic for diabetes and obesity. Still, doctors say some patients who would benefit steer clear because of money. The drug costs about $228 a month. Health Canada says many generic medications are 45 to 90% cheaper than the brand versions. And that price could go down with more generics on the market. Health Canada is reviewing 8 other submissions. That could also reduce expenses for provincial and private drug plans deciding to cover the generic. Approval comes after an extensive review of the generic's chemical composition and effects, but does not require manufacturers to do long-term effect studies, for instance, on heart attacks and strokes.
Based on the assumption that if it looks the same, it has the same biochemical properties, it's chemically the same drug, it should have the same long-term effects.
Experts applaud accessibility, but also warn against minimizing potential side effects.
This is a drug. It's not a candy. It's not a supplement. It is a medication.
The generic dosage approved now is for the treatment of diabetes, but advocates are watching to see what other generics will come and what the impact will be on the costs. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
Medical Watch is brought to you by Manukin Koster Denture Clinic.
A feast for the senses, a preview of the Métis-inspired performance making its debut tonight in Winnipeg. Plus, Scottish comedian Danny Boy has a date with our city. All those details next in Spotlight.
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting country legend Marty Stewart.
Well, it is no joke. A Scottish comedian will be bringing his new show to Winnipeg this fall.
There's not many Scottish Indian guys in Texas, I can assure you. I tell you what, that is 2 very separate characters on The Simpsons to them, right? That is, they don't...
Danny Boy will be performing Dear World at the Burton Cummings Theatre. The show promises heartfelt and laugh-out-loud reflections from the comedian, who has made notable appearances at the Just for Laughs Festival and live at the Apollo. The show kicks off October 17th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. All right, Brandonites, now's your chance to put your artistic talents on display for the whole city to see. The city, along with the Brandon Downtown Biz, is ready to receive applications for the 2026 Downtown Outdoor Art Grant. Let your imagination run wild. Eligible projects run the gamut from murals and sculptures to digital displays or even sound-based installations. They could be permanent, temporary, or even seasonal. However, it should foster a sense of unity, and collaboration is strongly encouraged. The current round of applications is being accepted until May 31st. You can find all the details by visiting brandondowntown.biz. The Royal Manitoba Theatre Centre's latest production is A Feast for the Senses.
The last few winters have been hard on us all, and the Métis folk are looking too thin. Although Mama Mare's the best cook around.
Rub-a-Boom, a Métis cabaret, is a blend of music, dance, art, and storytelling. It was created by Andrea Menard, who you might recognize from CTV drama Sullivan's Crossing. Menard says the show includes a lot of flavors, a little history, some fun, and the sacred elements, and is derived from the Michif word for leftover stew.
Sometimes we're just a band on stage, sometimes we're making a ceremonial, metaphorical rub-a-boo, and sometimes we're in the spirit world, so never know where you're going to go.
Rub-a-Boo opens tonight and runs through May 23rd on the John Hirsch main stage. Tickets are available through the Royal Manitoba Theatre Centre's box office. Your primetime lineup starts with day 3 auditions on MasterChef at 7. The Floor comes next at 8. Shark Tank is on at 9. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
Before the horses come the beds. The annual Kentucky Derby tradition makes its return. That story still to come.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S Antique Spa Salon.
Tonight, families of Tumbler Ridge shooting victims sue OpenAI.
We have to understand exactly what these companies are doing.
The potential billion-dollar legal battle and how the ChatGPT maker is responding. Later on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
Well, it's been another stubbornly cool day in Winnipeg, a high of just 4. We should be closer to 15 on this day a year ago. 11.3 degrees. Tonight we dropped down to -2. Now, I just realized I misspoke. I thought Friday was the last day of April. It's not. It's tomorrow. So I hope I didn't throw anyone off earlier when I said that. 7 tomorrow, Thursday, the last day of April. Friday, the first day of May, sunny and 14 degrees. Great way to start the month. 17 Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud. 15 on sunny and a little cooler Monday and especially Tuesday.
Thanks, Colleen. Finally tonight, it's a Kentucky Derby Week tradition. Nearly 50 teams raced for Goofy Glory as part of the Great Bed Races. Look at them go. Groups got to push their decorated beds in a figure-8 course, competing for multiple awards. This, in case you're wondering, is the 37th year for the Great Bed Races. The 152nd Kentucky Derby goes this Saturday. They're pretty fast.
It was kind of fun, actually.
All right, that does it for us tonight. Have a great evening. See you back here tomorrow.